talking about cursing.
Yeah.
You haven't watched it, the Tom Brady roast.
I have not.
Okay, of course I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
So I watched it. And after about, I'm going to say 45 minutes, I go, wow, it is so dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it would be to a degree, let it go. But I didn't know it was just going to be really, really, let's just go.
Right.
And so many things were said. I just go, oh my gosh.
Well,
and
it's on Netflix too, where like most roasts in the past that we've seen have been on other networks, like on, basically old school television. Right. So I feel like Netflix, kind of gave them that free reign to say like, all right, just let it go.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, Tom Brady and anybody that roasted him got paid by the curse word. They're all retired because they're rich.
Yeah.
Okay. It was unbelievable. Listen, it made me cringe a few times. I go, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was a lot.
But I kept watching and I watched the whole thing. So it was the comedians, except for one. I won't get into who I didn't like, but the comedians were really good.
Were they?
Gosh. Well, as they were doing, I go, well, they do this for a living. And they had great freedom there or whatever. And they were great. I really enjoyed it. And the players, they did well, everybody, because it was well scripted. They knew what was going on and they were reading the teleprompter. I'm sure they had people help them write the jokes.
Right.
But damn. Okay. I don't know what else to say. It was rough.
Yeah. I heard your boy Julian Edelman was pretty rough too on Tom.
Oh,
so that's great. And I think he's really good at, kind of speaking that way in a comedic style too, even on his own show sometimes.
Yeah.
He does a great job of just kind of delivering those notes. You could tell too that he was definitely not the guy you wanted to mess with or talk trash with in the locker room, because he definitely has a lot of ammo, and I'm sure he has more than what he even showed on the show. Because I did hear through certain articles that I read that, certain topics were, they were not to be discussed at all. So I'm curious to see, what the guidelines were as far as roasting Tom Brady.
Well, Julian Edelman, when I would go to practice, which I did, I always say I did 85, 90 Patriot games. He wasn't there for all of them, but I'll never forget the one time. It's a Friday, they're rehearsing the game, what they're going to do. And he's the slot guy and he runs like a 10-yard out. Brady throws it really low, right on the shoe tops. Edelman goes down to catch it. He face plants after he tried to make the attempt. And it was, kind of wet and all that. He gets up. He's got sod in his helmet. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And he says something to Tom, and Tom goes, Jules! And he's yelling. And I thought, oh, my God, they got nose to nose. It was like they were going to fight.
Right.
And I said, this is awesome. No wonder they win. They're all pissed off. So all the time. And it was great. And Edelman, whatever you want to say about him, he is the personality, the toughness, all in, whatever, all that. He's not only was a great player in the position he played, but also it rubs off on everybody. His toughness, his personality, and his will to get it done. And hey, he's doing a great job. I watched some of his podcasts. He's funny. I thought the Ernie Adams one, I don't know, have you watched that?
Yeah.
It was great.
Awesome. Yeah.
All of a sudden, Ernie Adams, I didn't know Ernie could talk. And he's leaning back in the chair going, it was
real comfortable. Yep.
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome.
I thought Julian, I thought he was great too with you and Inside the NFL there, for that last
year.
I thought, you guys had a great, banter with each other, and Brandon Marshall, of course, too. I just thought that was a great dynamic too. Because
Brandon was the best.
Yeah. Brandon and Julian, I think that was a great combo right there from the receiver perspective, from those two guys, because they both did it on the field a little bit differently, obviously because of, their God-given talents, but also too just their attitudes and the leadership qualities that they had. So I thought that was, a great dynamic. And
we got to have Brandon on one day.
Oh, we do. Yeah. I saw him at the Knicks game the other day. I saw him in front row. Yeah, he's at the Knicks game. I was like, because I saw somebody in the front row, and I was like, damn, this guy looks like he's like a linebacker, for the Jets. And I was like, no, it's Brandon Marshall.
When you see Brandon in person, it's always like, wow, you were a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I'll never forget one of the first practices I went to when he was drafted by Denver. And the practice is over. We come in, we're going to talk to the head coach. And, Mike Shanahan goes, Jay Cutler, what'd you think? I said, he threw like 40 missiles in practice. It was awesome to watch. And he goes, what do you think about Brandon Marshall? I go, what do you want me to say, Mike? They're both freaks. They're both really, really good. And Mike was so proud of both of them because he got them both.
Right.
He drafted them both. And but Brandon, I loved him when he'd come inside the NFL. He'd come in and go, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got so many, and he was, and he was very naturally, without even trying. I thought he was very funny.
Yeah, he is.
And he was great to work with. He's a great team player. It was awesome.
He is. He was a great teammate too. My short stint that I had with him in New York, I thought the world of him. I thought he was a really cool dude. And it was interesting too, kind of hearing stories that he would share from playing with Christopher in Denver, so I thought that was fascinating too, that he played with my brother and then he gets to, be on the same team with me for a very short period of time too. But yeah.
And then he worked with me. So he had us all.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is all,
Yeah, he even said it sometimes. Damn, I'm hitting the trifecta with the Simpsons. And I said, I don't know if it's paying off, Brandon, but you at least been around all of us.
It's not. So, that's right.
Yeah, so it's all good. But what'd you bring up about the roast? You said you haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it. No, I'm in a little bit of I'm doing the hey, everyone's watching that roast, and I'm like, no, I'm not watching it yet. I don't give a damn.
That way to be defiant.
I'm going to be defiant. I don't give a damn about Tom Brady right now. Go away. So,
well, we were at a thing yesterday, you and I, and a little gathering in New York. And I guess I said the roast, and I said, listen, I had to go to confession after I watched it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Well, wait, let's talk about that though. Who would you want to roast Big Phil, right? If you were to have your own roast, who would be on your list?
Well, I want to get
Phil. Get in the middle of the damn camera too. What are you doing off there, stage left? Here
go ahead. Listen, shut your ass up.
All right, okay. All right. Go ahead. Who do you want to roast?
Well, I want people to roast me where I really want to get after them. Okay, that's what it's about. Right. I don't care what they say about me. I'm going to win that war. Yeah. I've done a lot of roast, and
naturally, you're inviting Bill Parcells.
Bill Parcells, because he's going to get up there and give me all this stuff. I know, and then of course I will destroy him in a roast.
He'll eviscerate him. Yeah.
Yeah. Good word. Yes. Whatever. Yeah. And all those times he yelled at me, I'm going to get even. And of course I'd have to have Lawrence Taylor because I'd have to hear once again, Lawrence was the reason for my success. I taught Phil to make sure he really believes this crap.
I know he really does. It's crazy.
Yeah. When the Sims is always there and it's always throwing it 50, 60 yards down the field. I just, Phil, throw it to the open guy, whatever. I go, Lawrence. And he really believes it. Yeah. I know, shut your ass up. But yeah, he would be another one. Jim Burt, really good friend. Saw him a couple days ago. And, he's got every story in the world. And of course, I got more than enough ammo against him.
Yeah, and some of it you would need to be on Netflix for Jim Burt and Lawrence just because of the graphic content of how they live their lives. And also you got to be careful with Jim too, because if you said something that crossed the line, according to him, he'd probably kick your ass in the parking lot.
Well, yeah, he could probably kick my ass and everybody else's all together. So, hey, Jim was unbelievable. He really was. He was a great nose tackle. Right. He could two gap or hold this line up. He could two gap a truck. I'm serious. Maybe one of the best ever to do that. But good dude. It was good seeing him, and always he's in unbelievable shape. Unbelievable.
Right.
Like maybe not as heavy as he was as a player, but damn, he's ready to play. He's always been ready to.
The scary thing is that when you meet Jim, and you say what's up to him, the old, what's up handshake, right? Yeah, be ready. This ain't some normal, hey, how are you? Like, dude grabs you and you're like, all right, I can see why you were, damn near a all-pro type of football player for the Giants and the 49ers, because the dude's hands are just like cement. It's unbelievable how strong his hands are.
That's why he used them. I mean, he's got feet for hands. It's just, man. I mean, like I always say, and to you, and I mean this in a certain way, but he's just a guy that I don't care who you are, you don't mess with.
Yeah, for sure.
You just don't mess with him. I saw lots of interactions of things of that account, and I understand. Bart Oates, my center, would be another one I would want in there.
Yeah,
because great leader, really good player, And, he was this guy who was always, Phil, they got the extra defensive back in. Oh, no kidding, Bart. It's 3rd and 15. I know that. And I'd say, shut up, whatever. And he goes, no. He would talk. He was the only guy who would talk back to me.
Right.
No.
And I love the story, too, about Bart, how he put a dead fish in your car.
Yes, in the engine.
I think it was during the 90s. He put it in, and you pulled over. You called. I guess you called the dealer and were like, "Hey, man, like, what's wrong with this car? It smells like shit," and like, and
well, he did it. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, no, he did that. It took me like 2 days to figure it out because of course, you drive the car, the engine gets hot. It was just, oh my God. I'm looking under this. I'm looking under the seats. I'm doing all that, and then finally, I figured it out. Yeah. And what was the other thing? Oh, and once he switched the spark plugs in the engine.
No way.
And so I'm driving home. The car's I'm going back, and I'm going, this damn Jaguar. And here's what makes it really what they loved. I had to pull over to the side of the road because I thought the car was going to blow up.
Right.
And I had to get a tow truck to take it to the dealer.
That's amazing.
This was after practice.
Right.
That night when I was driving home, was I mad? But I never thought about that. I was thinking Brad Benson had a Jaguar dealership, my left tackle, and a really good one at that. But, the Jaguar had a few issues at times, especially when we were getting them. And I just thought, it's the car. And then I found out it was the spark plugs switched up and I was like, and that was that was borderline evil. So,
that was. It's crossing the line.
And then the last two, I'll make them quick. Boomer Esiason, of course, got to have him there because everybody that gets up to talk is going to just kill Boomer. And Boomer's got a great sense of humor, and you can't say anything to him that will what's the word? It won't bother him.
Right.
He doesn't care. You just can't. You can't do that. And Carl Banks had to bring him in there too. Very dry sense of humor.
Yeah, but I think maybe Carl and Bob Papa, right, to kind of get both of them, because I feel like Bob has so many stories too from that time frame, from obviously covering the Giants for such a long period of time, talking with all those players. He could, I think, really shine some light on some stuff that you guys probably do not want for the world to know. But I think Bob and Carl Banks would be fantastic additions to that roast.
Well, just remember, whatever they say, the things that nobody knows, I got it on them too.
That's right.
Okay. So I get the last word.
Yeah.
I'll get even and pull ahead.
That's right.
Yeah. So
have no doubt. Have no doubt with that.
So what are we going to do today?
Yeah.
Since you produced the show, you're the host.
Oh my God.
Oh my God is right.
You
go
are
ahead.
such a nerd sometimes.